Hello, this is question 16 on June 2022 Pure 1 paper from edexcel. And you have a curve defined by parametric equations and you have to integrate it. So this is the curve and you have to find the area between the curve, the x-axis and this vertical line, x equals 4. These are the equations. The first thing you have to prove is that the area is given by this integral here. So what we're going to do is to use these parametric equations to find this expression. So that's the first part. So you know when we integrate parametric equations, we have y in terms of t and then dx by dt. So this is what we need. So y is this expression here, so 2 sine 2t plus 3 sine t, and this goes multiplied by dx by dt. So we have to derive this function here. So dx dt, we have 8 at the front, then sine squared, the 2 goes to the front, so 16, sine goes 1 degree less, so sine t, and derivative of sine is cos. I'm just using like derivating u squared, yeah? So u squared is going to be 2u prime. So this is the first part, and what I'm going to do is substitute here, so times 16 sine t cos t dt. So this expression somehow has to become this one. We have a bracket. The first thing I would do is to multiply the bracket. If you multiply the brackets, this second part is going to be 48 sine squared cos, which is precisely this. And this part, when we multiply this by this part of the bracket, this term is going to be a bit less straightforward. So let's going to see how we can convert 2 times 16, so 2 times 16 sine 2t, and just expanding the bracket, sine t cos t, into this thing here. So I think probably it's better to work backwards because we need cos 4t. What we can do is to see what cos 4t is. So if we use the double angle formula, and I'm going to write here, cos 4t can be written as 1 minus 2 sine squared 2t. Yeah, this is kind of in the formula booklet. So you go to the formula booklet, you don't have the double angle formula, but you have the sum, the addition formula. So it's easy to deduce the other ones. So we can write that sine square of 2t, this is what we have here. So when we multiply this here, this together with these two, is sine of 2t. So we can have that this, so this together with this is sine 2t. So we can write that expression as 16 sine 2t squared, because I have this sine 2t and this sine 2t. So I'm going to try to write this sine square of 2t here. Sine square 2t, making it the subject, is going to be 1 minus cos 4t divided by 2, which is going to make the things very easy because now I'm going to substitute here and I have 16 times that expression. So 16 times 1 minus cos 4t divided by 2, which is 8 minus 8 cos 4t. And we have it. So 16, I'm just multiplying this 16 cancel is 8 and then expanding the bracket, yeah? And this is precisely what we need in our expression. So this is this bit here. So our area is going to be putting all together the integral of 8 minus 8 cos 4t, which is the first part of the bracket, plus or minus plus 48 sine square t cos t divided by 2, and now dt. And now we need to find the limits of integration. So to find the limits of integration, now we are integrating in t, so we need to find the limits in t. We know the limits are 0 and 4, but this is x. So we need to find what t is when x is 0 and when x is 4. So when x is 0, we have 8 sine square is 0. This is x, yeah? Which means sine t is 0, so t is 0. And when x is 4, I have 8 sine square t is 4, which means that sine square t is 1/2, which means sine t is 1 divided by root 2. And with the calculator in radians, please, and or if you don't remember, maybe you remember what t is. T is pi quarters. Yeah, they don't say if it's radians or degrees, but the minute that you have pi's instead of 180 or 45 or 90 is going to be radians. So these are going to be my limits of integration, and in fact they ask me to write the value of a, yeah, which is pi quarters. So my area is going to be this formula that I found here between 0 and pi quarters. That's the area. I've proved what I have to prove, and this is going to be the value of a, and I will make it clear somewhere because they're asking me the value of a. Yeah, so this is the first part. And then for b, they are asking me hence, so using this because otherwise I don't know how to integrate, find the exact area of R. So we are going to find the area integrating that function, which is not difficult now. So if I integrate that, I have 8 is going to be 80. I can integrate each bit, each term. Then 8 cos 4t is going to be sine, let's going to prepare first sine 4t. When I derivate sine 4t, I'm going to get 4 cos 4t. So I have 8 instead of 4, which means I need to divide that by 4, and I have 2. Yeah, so when I multiply these 2 by 4, I get the 8. And then this one, I have a square and the derivative of this one. So this is going to be, if I derivate sine cubed, if I have sine cubed of t and I derivate, I have 3 sine t squared cos t, which is what I have here, just adjusting the coefficient. So if I do 48 divided by 3, I have 16. So I have plus 16 sine cubed t. Because when I derivate that, I have 3 times 16, 48 sine square cos. Yeah, so this is my whole integral. And now my limits are 0 and pi quarters. And be careful, because if you evaluate this with a calculator, which is easy, you're going to get decimals. So they are going to evaluate the sign and they are going to give you the decimal number. And in these questions, most of the times they ask you exact area, which means you cannot use the calculator, or you can use it for maybe remember what sine of pi quarters is, but not for the whole thing. So what we are going to do is to substitute. When I substitute by pi quarters, I have pi quarters times 8 is 2 pi, sorry. Pi quarters times 4 is pi, sine of pi is 0, so minus 0. Pi quarters, sine of pi quarters is root 2 divided by 2, I'm going to write here. So I have sine pi quarters is root 2 divided by 2, which means when I do the sine cubed, pi quarters is going to be root 2 divided by 4. Yeah, so this next one is 16 times root 2 divided by 4 is 4 root 2. Sorry, this is plus 4 root 2 minus everything substituted by 0. So t is 0 here, sine of 0, 0, sine 0, 0. So the whole second part is 0. So my answer is 2 pi plus 4 root 2. And that's the exact answer. I don't have to find the answer with the calculator. Yeah, and that's it with this question.